What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Islam Makhachev receives warning. In the main event of UFC Fight Night Austin, rising lightweight contender Arman Tsarukyan picked up the biggest win of his career as he dispatched of Beneil Dariush in the very first round. The win sent a clear message, not only to his fans and critics, but also to the rest of the division, that Tsarukyan is charging full steam ahead towards the title. After the win, he spoke with media members to discuss the victory, firing a warning shot at Islam Makhachev.
I feel like I can knock him out in the first round. We gotta think about the best, right? We shouldn't think about worst situation.
The win drew attention from fans, with Tsarukyan undoubtedly cementing his place as a title contender with the win. As one fan wrote, Arman Tsarukyan is gonna win the belt one day. Him versus Islam Makhachev 2 is the fight I want to see today. Several others joked about the champ, Islam Makhachev, with one writing, Islam changing weight classes after seeing this, and another writing, Islam Makhachev has officially vacated the lightweight belt. With both Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira eager to get their respective crack at the champ, it's likely that Tsarukyan needs one more win before a fight with Islam Makhachev is a possibility. Next up, let's take a look at Dana White reacts to big move. Recently, after much speculation and anticipation, it was announced that the PFL had acquired Bellator MMA, marking a major shift in the landscape of the industry. As PFL's Don Davis stated, with the two promotions under one umbrella, their roster is incredibly deep and boasts some of the best fighters in the world. Despite that, and other big moves such as signing Francis Ngannou, UFC CEO Dana White isn't worried about the PFL as a competitor. Following an action-packed night of fights in Austin, he spoke to media members where he shared his thoughts on the acquisition.
It's fucking hilarious, but yeah, good for them. I wish them all the luck in the world. I mean, I've covered this before. You must not have heard it. One shitty organization that sells no tickets and nobody watches buys another shitty organization that sells no tickets and nobody watches. Sounds like a winner to me, boy. Right? Woo! Go, guys.
While the PFL's acquisition of Bellator is sure to shake things up, the UFC is also fending off a pair of class action lawsuits in court, with one case receiving class action certification and the other hoping to follow suit. Given that and the PFL acquisition, the next few years could drastically reshape the MMA industry. Next up, let's take a look at Sean O'Malley called out by UFC fighter. The 135-pound division is without question one of the deepest in the UFC, with a logjam of contenders all floating around the top of the division. On Saturday night in Austin, former flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo made a thrilling bantamweight debut, defeating Rob Font in impressive fashion. After the victory, he spoke to media members through a translator about a potential fight between he and bantamweight champion Sugar Sean O'Malley, showing respect while also expressing confidence.
Sean O'Malley is an incredible fighter and an excellent striker. But you know, I've been training with Henry Cejudo. I believe in my team. I trust my team. I trust the strategy and the game plan that they put on. And you know, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm a grappler. I just don't like to use it as much. I didn't use it as much before. But this is where I am. And I do feel that if I fight against Sean O'Malley, if we get to the ground, I will finish him.
With O'Malley set to defend his title against Chito Vera in the new year, and contenders like Merab Dvalishvili eagerly awaiting for their crack at the belt, Figueiredo will likely have to work his way into title contention before a fight with O'Malley becomes a reality. In the meantime, a potential scrap between he and Peter Yan has been suggested by fans, given that Peter Yan is looking to work his way back into contention as well. With the former flyweight champ eager to build momentum on his move to bantamweight, expect him to return to action before the summer, barring any injuries. Next, let's take a look at UFC fight updates. Despite this weekend's UFC Fight Night Vegas 83 card, which was previously expected to be the Fight Night Shanghai card, being just days away, the UFC is continuing to add bouts to the card. Reports have emerged that Steve Garcia Jr. will be competing against Melquizael Costa on the card, with Garcia looking to build on a two-fight win streak that saw him stop Shaylin Nerdembeki with a vicious body shot back in April. On the flip side, Costa will be looking to build on a July win over Austin Lingo. In addition, the card will also play host to a scrap between Daniel Marcos and Carlos Vera, with Marcos looking to extend his undefeated record of 15-0, and Vera looking to bounce back from a tough 31 loss to Brad Katona. Shifting gears and looking ahead to the new year, reports have indicated that Tom Nolan and Nicholas Mota will collide at UFC Vegas 84 on January 13th. The bout will see Nolan look to pick up his first UFC win after a first-round victory on Dana White's Contender Series back in August, while Mota will be looking to return to the win column after a no contest in his last fight stemming from a premature stoppage. As we look ahead to this weekend's card, it'll be interesting to see if the promotion adds any other last-minute bookings. Now, let's shift gears and take a look at MMA Community Goes Off on UFC Referee. In a co-main event of UFC Fight Night Austin, Jalen Turner picked up a spectacular win over Bobby Green. However, rather than Turner's performance being the topic of conversation after the bout, it was referee Kerry Hatley who was criticized for the stoppage. In the wake of the fight and the late stoppage, Turner spoke about the situation.
Well, I don't know what to call it. Like, he just waited until Bobby was out. Like, Bobby's tough, you know what I mean? Like, Bobby's a really tough fighter, so when I was punching him, I was like, he was defending, he was moving, he was still a bit coherent, and I was like, dang. I was like, maybe this should be stopped, maybe not, and
for his part, Bobby Green took the loss in stride. He sent the message to his fans in a video for social media.
You win some, you lose some. I guess I just want to show people that you got to keep it G when you win, and you got to keep it G when you lose. Shout out to Jalen, you did your thing, brother. I'm so happy for you. It means the world that you stepped up on short notice and you're having your success.
Despite that, Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier and UFC CEO Dana White, like many fans, were livid over the late stoppage. Cormier spoke about the situation in a video for his YouTube channel, ripping Hatley.
I mean, Bobby is laying flat on his belly, getting just hit over and over and over until eventually, mercifully, the referee stops the fight. I thought it was the worst stoppage in UFC history.
White also slammed the referee during his post-fight press conference, calling the stoppage one of the worst he's ever seen.
One of the worst I've ever seen. So the difference is, you know, we've had some refs say some dumb in the past, like, oh, I allowed her to be a warrior tonight, and goofy like that. He knows that he made a mistake tonight, and he does not feel good about it. So, yeah.
Is that just like a heat of the moment?
It's unfortunate.
Fans were also quick to rip the stoppage, with one fan writing, "Ref should be fired immediately," and another writing, "Fire that ref or take his pay and suspend him." Another agreed that the referee needs to be fired, writing, "Horrendously late stoppage. Ref needs to be fired immediately." On another slightly different topic, Bobby got humbled big time. Another fan wrote, "Horrific stoppage. I don't even like Bobby Green, but Jesus." While another agreed, "Jesus Christ, that's terrible. He went out, was punched awake, then knocked out again. That's so much unnecessary damage." So far, it's unclear whether there will be repercussions. Next, let's take a look at Garry called out by UFC fighter. After suffering the first loss of his professional career, Sean Brady bounced back in a big way in Austin, Texas, as he dispatched the former interim title challenger Kelvin Gastelum. In the wake of the win, Brady expressed a desire to compete against undefeated contender Garry, saying that Garry rubs the sport the wrong way with his trash talk. He spoke to media members at the post-fight press conference, calling for a fight with the brash contender.
I'm a true professional in the sport, and I just don't like the way he walks around with the cameras and goes into the gym. He's getting kicked out of Leon Edwards' gym. Like, he's just always talking about people, and it's whack. And I think he's whack, and I'll ragdoll him. So I think that's the easiest fight in the division. So if he can get through Luque, which I don't think he will, because Luque is an amazing fighter. I heard they're coming to Atlantic City in March, so we'll see.
As Brady mentioned, Garry will first have to get through Vicente Luque before any negotiations can take place. However, given the placement of both men in the rankings, a bout between the two would certainly make sense for the new year, depending on how things play out at UFC 296. Next, let's take a look at Daniel Cormier returning to the UFC. Although Daniel Cormier has stated on several occasions that he has no intentions of returning to active competition, the way famed coach Faraz Zahabi sees things, if light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira moves up and manages to capture heavyweight gold to cement his place as a 3-division champ, then Daniel Cormier should come out of retirement and challenge him for the belt. He spoke in a video for his YouTube channel, concluding that if John Jones is in the picture, Pereira has little chance of being a 3-division champion.
But if John Jones was in the picture, it would be a quick one-rounder. 1.5 rounds max. 2 rounds at best on Pereira's best day. If Pereira wins a fight, Cormier's got to step in, win the title, retire again. That's what I would do.
Of course, the speculation is that Jones and Miocic would both retire after their upcoming fight. Despite that, Tom Aspinall has held out hope that Jones will stick around for a title unification fight. For Pereira, the odds of a move to heavyweight seem slim, given the potential fights for the champ at light heavyweight. Jamahal Hill breaks silence on his recent arrest in a video on his YouTube channel. Jamahal said,
"There's been a lot of reports out today with the situation that happened while I was back home in Michigan visiting for the holidays. I will just say this, at this time, it is an open case. I've been advised not to speak on it, which I know not to not to speak on it. I just can't wait for the truth to be told in court, and I will wait for that day, and I look forward to that day. And yeah, the people who know me and know my character and truly rock with me and know who I am, hold on to that and stay true to that. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. And
Dana White reacted to this horrible news at the UFC Austin press conference. Here's what Dana had to say.
I know nothing about it. I literally don't know anything. Obviously, it sounds like something between him and his brother. That's some family, and I'm sure they'll figure that out.
Top comments. After hearing about what Neil Magny went through because of Ian Garry, I'm absolutely sure that Ian Garry deserves everything bad that's coming to him. As an old school fan, I love that the UFC is finally getting exposed for its dirty tactics. I support fighters, not the greedy UFC suits. I have a lot of respect for Tom Aspinall. He's a great fighter that acknowledges he's a heavyweight that can be knocked out. Love the humility, and a great fighter too. Dana White. Sponsorships are like relationships. They hit you, you hit them back. Make sure to leave a comment and you might get featured in our next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss any MMA news. Check out our video from yesterday if you missed it. See you tomorrow.